Here we are doing the final minor suit of the Pentacles, which is part 4 of the court cards. The first one we're going to take a look at is the King of Pentacles. Please remember that the Pentacles are ruled by the element of earth. All Pentacles people are very concerned with things of a material nature, a tangible nature, very interested in having money, making money, very tied to land, property, things of that nature. Now, this does not mean that Pentacles people are, not spiritual. They can be very spiritual at the same time, but their main thrust, their main focus is on anything, that has to do with finances, money, having nice possessions, putting on a good show. And, they can be very kind, or they can be somewhat stingy and, not wanting to share. If you're one of the Pentacles astrological signs, such as Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, please don't take any offense. This is just what you came in to do in this lifetime. It could even be learning how to manage money. The King of Pentacles, of course, like any king, the king is a mature man. He is very enterprising, much like the Wands King. He's very adept and reliable. This is a reliable person. He can be supportive or supporting a lot of causes, even if he's a CEO of a major Fortune 500 company. Your King of Pentacles is someone who's steady. You might say he can steady like the Rock of Gibraltar. Usually people can trust the King of Pentacles. He looks after the welfare of others underneath him. But if he does come up reverse, then you may, want to take a much closer look at the king to see if he's as reliable and as authentic as he appears to be. Like I say, the Pentacles are ruled by the 3 sun signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, So, again, they're very, very, what I want to say, earthy and steady, and you just get a feeling of smoothness around a Pentacles person. They're not as apt to be having the major mood swings of maybe some of the other sun signs. Moving to the Queen, it's been said that the Queen of Pentacles is the one that has it all. Well, this may or may not be the case, but she certainly would like to have it all. Very energetic, just like the King, and is focused on not only her home, which means a great deal to her, and having children means a great deal to her, but she can also balance a very busy career life. She is more apt to be a boss, a manager, have her own business, just like the King, and is quite good at doing all of it. She just has the energy to do a great deal. At times, the Queen of Pentacles has been referred to as the Earth Mother. She might have been the hippie in the 60s, but then she grew out of it and, moved into a more corporate type feel. So when the Queen of Pentacles comes up in a spread, she could represent that kind of energy. She could be a male pentacle that has a lot of the female attributes, and vice versa. In a woman's reading, if you're reading about her and the King of Pentacles comes up and you determine it's not another person, it just is saying that this female has a lot of male attributes, and that she's not afraid to strive for things and to show her power and to go for what she wants. So they're very interesting cards. The King and Queen, again, are interested in having a lot of security, a lot of money in the bank, having money to buy beautiful things, and, you know, might have a very beautiful home, very expensive home. And if they don't have those things, they will go out and get them. These are not people who are prone to sit around and feel sorry for themselves. If they end up in a bind financially, they'll find a way to work their way out of it. And usually it's with integrity and hard work. We get to the Knight, and, you know, the Queen of Pentacles, of course, is a mature woman, and the Knight can represent a young man or a young woman, but usually represents a young man. This is a person that is slow and steady, methodical. The Knight, I often think of the Knight as someone who is in a healing profession or has something to do with healing. Also, the Knight represents to me possible issues surrounding health, because remember, the earth signs, you know, do have to do with physicality, and that includes one's health and one's energy. So I could see the Knight as a possible healer of some sort, or a need to bring something into the diet to bring more balance into someone's energy field, and, you know, brings about a greater feeling of vitality and energy again. You can see the horse is more like one of the heavy work horses. That definitely describes the Knight. He's a person too who likes to make money, likes to have money, or is always thinking about, you know, new ideas and how he's going to accomplish something. So he's somewhat of a visionary, just like the fire signs, and he'll find creative ways to do it. But don't expect the Knight, if he comes in as a romantic relationship person, to sweep you off your feet, or to be highly passionate. They can be sensual. You know, the Pentacles people can be very sensual, but they, you know, don't exactly have that fire like the Wands people would have. So if you're looking for Mr. Excitement, you know, maybe the Knight of Pentacles isn't the one that you're going to want to pick, but they're a good bet overall because they're in it for the long run. And that is something that everybody should think about. We get to the page, excuse me, and here the page once again can represent the seeds of things, something starting to sprout, to grow. So this could be a small amount of money coming in, or the beginnings of seeing money trickle in. It really isn't about, you know, using creativity like a wand suit, but it's more about seeing the end results starting to happen. It's the beginning of the end results, reaping the harvest. Coming in as a message card, you can pretty much surmise that it has to do again about receiving money, or the possible beginnings of selling a home or buying a home, real estate investments, building construction, anything to do with land. There may be messages surrounding that with the Page of Pentacles. If the page does represent a young man or woman or a child, this child again is rather serious. They're pretty steady. They're reliable as children. They could be prone to depression a little bit because they worry about everything. So if you have a Pentacles child under one of the sun signs of the Pentacles, or just has that kind of quiet nature, you're going to want to nurture them and bring them out of themselves. But once they're comfortable, this young boy or girl, you know, will really shine, and may even be in advanced classes in school. So they definitely should receive the best education possible. So this pretty much sums up the Pentacles. If they're an energy, you've learned about the energy of the Pentacles people. If they're an actual person, we just went over the attributes of what that person might be like. And as with any of the court cards, you're looking either at an energy or you're looking at an actual person. I did forget to mention the usual traditional coloring of the Pentacles people, and it's usually darker hair, brown eyes, but that's not cast in stone. They also could represent, if you're Caucasian, somebody who is foreign born or comes from another country. And so it just depends on who you are as the psychic or the reader, and if your client happens to be Afro-American, and cards come up that are the light-haired cards, like the cups and the wands, you're gonna, it could represent a person with the lighter coloring. But with Afro-Americans, people in their own intimate circles or family, you're going to take a look at the energy rather than the coloring associated with this suit. And that's really not difficult to do. There's just a little adjustment that has to take place. So I hope you enjoyed this series on the court face, or also known as the royalty cards. And we're going to be going into, in part 5, an overview talking more about the specific sun signs and the energy and ways to read court cards that I haven't covered in this short mini series. Thank you for watching.